Hi everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, where Marshall has finally told us what the hell was going on in that evidence room. It looks as though he's not the murderer, which, to be honest, I didn't think he would be. My finger is still firmly pointed in the direction of Gant, but obviously we have nothing to prove that he's done that, so we're going to have to try and do that. I might be wrong. It might be someone else entirely, but who knows. Let's carry on. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. Yeah, let's hear more. Okay. I can't just forget the SL incident, you know why? I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I better take another look at the files. Okay. I had to do it that day. I just couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why? Okay, so I actually can't remember how much of this we've pressed before. Is he like sort of completely changed this, or is it... Let's just press. I'll see if this sounds familiar. When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? The SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Okay, yeah, so we did hear this. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why I... Okay, so I think we have heard this before, I believe, but I kind of want to press again because I feel like he might be revealing more information now that we've got through to him a bit. Also, our health bar is getting a little bit low. We've got like 1, 2, I guess 3 more chances, and then we're going to sort of fail, so I just want to be extra sure here that we're doing the right thing. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera? And the detective's ID card? I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started... Okay, so we definitely heard this. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office, parking lot. Okay, so essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he could, because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. Okay. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. Okay, so that's important to remember. I'm going to skip through now to... this. But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out. But there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's why I'm trying to find out. ... Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is? Okay, so maybe we need to do that then? I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. Okay, so we need to figure out what to present here. So better take another look at the files. Let's do that. Let's have a look at the files and we'll go from there. Let's see if there's anything in the files that could help us out. Check. Okay, we haven't looked at this before. Incident number SL9 closed. Perpetrator Joe Dark. Crime serial murder. Sentence death. Oh, he got the death sentence. Okay. Victims: Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall. Ah, potentially a relative of Officer Marshall, right? Maybe a brother or something? A dad? Head Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, witnesses Lana Skye, Emma Skye. Investigations Task Force. So, Gant and Lana were on the investigators. The head investigator was Bruce Goodman, and then other investigators Jake Marshall, Angel Starr. So, the thing is, why, if it is a family member, why was Jake Marshall allowed to be an investigator on someone potentially related to him? That seems like a conflict of interest. But anyway, let's try and present this on, I guess, the final statement. This one. I don't know if we present it here or on the bit where he said he couldn't let it go, but let's try here because this is the new line, isn't it? Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. Speaking of the cactus, Amazing Purple Girl said that she's very suspicious of the blood on the cactus still in the like monitoring room, and I'm the same. Like, it's just a very weird thing to find. I don't know if it's going to come in useful or relevant at some point, but we'll see. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall? Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago, he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor? He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. Oh. Okay, so he was like the head of the investigation or whatever for the case, and then got killed, and then Edgeworth took over? That's right, he was killed. And the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. Okay, so I was right. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then Deputy Chief of Police. So he was working with Gant, which makes me even more suspicious of Gant now. Perhaps this Neil Marshall found something that linked Gant to the murders, and Gant silenced him? That's what I'm thinking anyway. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Is that Joe Dark? Joe Dark. He looks a bit like a gangster. I don't know if it's intentional. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. I mean, could Dark and Gant have been working together, maybe? That's my thinking. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it. That's your reason for your insane actions. So if he thinks that Dark couldn't have killed him and overpowered him, then maybe it was actually Gant, and he like took him by surprise, sort of thing. Like maybe they were investigating together and then he attacked him when his guard was down. There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it. How did his hat get back on his head? What the hell? How did that happen? It just like teleported onto his head. ... Okay. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal evidence. Okay. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Okay, so he basically panicked because Meekins was there when he was trying to take the evidence and look through it. and attacked Meekins, knocked him out, stashed the coat in the locker and went, not knowing that the locker could sort of be traced back to him, I suppose. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. It's true. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. Yeah, it's true. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance? It's got to be more than just that. Yeah, I think it is as well.
So, if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one.
Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. Objection! We don't know that though. But wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial. Objection! Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department.
It seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner.
All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. ...
Okay.
Ah! I rest my case.
It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt.
No, come on. Have we missed something? Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera tape really was fake, but I didn't realise that would end up proving Lana guilty. I mean, maybe she did do it. I don't think she did, but maybe there's got to be more to this Gant thing, though. It can't be done.
Now then, the time for this verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant.
Okay. Oh! Emma! Your Honour, wait! Emma, the defence has an objection. A scientific objection. Right? What do you mean, right?
Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian?
Your Honour? Oh, in a sense. Please, Your Honour, all I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. ... I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. Ah, it's going to be Edgeworth's undoing, that is. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings. Now that she mentions it, the names of both Skye sisters were in that file. But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing, the other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker?
But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again. Maybe there was like DNA inside the glove. So did you find something? No. Huh? Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. ... Is that all? Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them... Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Oh boy.
Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain?
It appears the defence is troubled by the other blood mark. Okay, so looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day.
Yes, Your Honour. If ever I've needed to concentrate, it's now. Okay, so what could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? We can go to the court record before we do this, because I don't want to press the wrong option here. Like I said earlier in this case, we've always done the I object and, you know, I've got some evidence, whatever. But it's possible that at one time that's going to be the wrong option, so let's just have a look. We've got Goodman's ID. I don't think it's going to be anything to do with this. The King of Prosecutors trophy, it's weird that there's part of that missing. I kind of maybe should have paid attention to that photo that got brought up when... Was Marshall's brother holding it? Maybe like it was... I'm going to have to look back at that when I edit this footage to see if there was. Because if that was a whole shield and that part wasn't missing, the missing part could be key to this. The murder weapon. Parking stub. So this is all stuff from the other crime scene. I don't think we're doing anything to do with that. We're doing something from this crime scene, right? As this crime scene being the evidence room. We've got the ID card record. So this is IDs of all who entered the evidence room on the day of this happening. So Edgeworth went in at 4:40, then Mike Meekins went in, Bruce Goodman went in, and then Meekins went in again, which he said was to like do whatever. There's no ID card swiped for Marshall, but we've still got this Sevens person who was in before all of this happened. So could the Sevens person be the one who touched the locker but didn't leave a handprint? Possibly. Gant is super suspicious because of this as well. Evidence from a past case of Edgeworth brought back to his office by Gant's request. So Gant is like sort of making things go places. Evidence room floor plans. We've got the glove, which I guess if somebody was wearing that glove, that could like conceal their handprint. What was the deal with this? This is the one on Marshall's own locker. Where's the... have we got something for the other locker? We haven't. So the only thing I can honestly think of is that we can sow doubts about someone else with the Sevens. The Sevens passcode. So I think we're going to object. And I think we might do something to do with the handprint left at the crime scene. Clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is you're grasping, Mr. Wright. I mean, he's not wrong.
You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans.
Okay, well, I tell you what, we're going to do this in the next episode because we're out of time. So sorry to leave you on a cliffhanger there, but I don't know how long this might be. It might be a thing where we've got to point something out, and I don't know how long that's going to go on for. So we'll leave it there. We'll come back and deal with the floor plans and this potential... I've lost my train of thought there, sorry. We'll come back and do the potential handprint issue thing next time. Maybe present the Sevens thing, I don't know. But we'll do that then. So as always, thank you very much for watching. A big thank you to my patrons, Arcades Games, Wayne Nate, Paul from the Phantom Fellows, Lyle, Hobo, Numinous, Kubadin, Paul Leone, Flossie the Sheep, JohnCom555, Chrissy, Paul James, Zolties, and Adventure Game Geek. And I'll see you next time.